Hello everybody, Jacob here with LGN Gaming, bringing you a game of Age of Empires 2 that I played a few days ago. Main reason I'm going to do this game is because I can just have it on fast forward. I'm not actually playing this. I played this game a few days ago. Now I'm just I recorded it, so now I'm trying to just play back over it, and talk about what I did and a few things that I have planned to help Matt with on his channel here. Firstly, I play Age of Empires, which is this game where you start off with like a town center and some villagers, and you got to collect like food and gold, stone and wood and everything. You have to build houses, you have to advance, build villagers. I'll eventually be able to build some troops, and you have to wipe out the other opposing enemies. For instance, I'm playing as the Ethiopians, which is the civilization. I didn't plan that. I random, and that's what I got. My ally in blue here is playing as the Aztecs. Now, we are facing two other teams of two each. In yellow, we have the Italians. Light blue, we have the Persians. Orange, we have the Spanish. Gray, we have the Mela, I think. I don't know how you pronounce that. In green, we have the Slavs, and then in red, we have the Mongols. Now, I never actually played as the Ethiopians before this. I played against them, but I never actually played as them. So I was kind of on a learning experience here, playing as them, to figure out what they have that's good and what they have that is bad. But it's just a good game because I could play the game for fun like this, and then a few days later I can go back over it like I am here and talking about it. Because don't really like to record while I'm playing because it can make me lag, and I don't like when I lag. Especially playing this game, it's very, very hard to play if you lag. Plus, this game took me about an hour and 40 minutes to actually play. Whereas I don't want to make a video an hour and 40 minutes long because that's just going to take way too long, and you guys don't want to be sitting here watching for an hour and 40 minutes of me play Age of Empires when it's not that all interesting to watch. So I recorded it fast forwarding through here now. So hopefully this will only take about 20-30 minutes maximum. But other games that I do like to play is like Sid Meier's Civilization 5 and 6. Mostly 6 now because now that 6 came out a few months ago, I've been starting to play that. I'm getting attacked over here by the red Mongols here. He has an archer attacking my wall that I built. There's a barracks I built. There's a blacksmith. Got a market up. I got a mill up. Got some idle villagers. That's no good. The market, you can trade resources between, and then once my ally builds his market, we can build trade carts to get some gold income. There's a few different ways to win this game. You can build a wonder, and then the wonder has to not get destroyed by somebody else or deleted by yourself if you don't want to win by the wonder. In 400 years, which each year is like a second or something like that. So 400 seconds, or it's a few minutes. It might be longer than that, actually. I think it's probably like 5 seconds is a year. I don't really know. You could collect all the relics, which are these things. There's 5 of them throughout the map. On the giant map, anyway, there's 5 of them. That's actually how we end up winning, and I'll explain more of that when we get closer to the end here. You can just completely wipe out all your enemies and make them resign or defeat them. Or you could do a time limit, which I don't do a time limit because that's no fun. And then whoever has the highest score wins. It's kind of boring. I think those are all the ways to win here. Yep. Wonder, relics, and destroying all enemies. So the map I'm actually playing on is Black Forest, meaning there's most all of it's just forests, and then there's like pathways leading between every civilization. My town center and the enemy town centers. Like there's this little opening here. There's some openings here that I got walled off, and then I have an opening here to my ally, and then everybody's kind of connected in throughout. But yeah. Other games I do like to play now that I'm done talking a little bit more about this game as I collect relics. I play Sheltered, Gears of War 4, which Matt and I will might be playing a lot together because I can play on the computer, he can play on the Xbox, and we could do the cross-platform. I play Ark. You might see some videos of me playing Ark. You might see some videos of me playing Sheltered. 7 Days to Die, I like playing. But for me, I don't like playing like one game and then the next day play a different game. I'll play like Age of Empires for like a week straight, and then I'll play Ark for like a week straight. I don't play just like one game at a time. Or I play one game at a time and then I get bored of it and I'll come back to it in like 2 weeks. But I'll try to disperse the videos up, so I'll record pretty much every time that I'm playing, and then if I like it, especially with Age of Empires, because some games aren't very interesting. This game actually turns out to be pretty interesting, especially towards the end. But if I don't like it, then I'm not going to record it, or I'm not going to post it. But I play Skyrim and Fallout. I play all kinds of different games, and I get new games all the time on my computer that I can play. And I'll show you guys some new games every now and then of me playing some different games. But now I'm gonna pretty much go back to Age of Empires here and explain some more things to you. And by no means do I consider myself an expert on any of the games that I play. Do I consider myself an expert? Is none of them. I don't. I'm not an expert on any of the games. I can tell you a lot about how to play and everything from me watching other people and from playing myself, because I have played this game for years. There's actually 3 Age of Empires games. This is the second one. The first one was created, I think, on Windows 98, if that gives you anybody any consolation of when it was created. This one, I believe, the original one was might have been created in 98. And then 2001 was when the expansion came out. That might have been how the second Age of Empires 2 was how old it is. It's fairly old. And then Age of Empires 3, which is fairly newer, I believe came out in 2006 or 2007. I do play that one too. Can't play Age of Empires 1 too much anymore. It's not very compatible with Windows 10. I mean, I can play it, it's just not extremely compatible. But Age of Empires 2 definitely is. Age of Empires 3 definitely is. And both of those games are on Steam for those of you that have a computer and have Steam. I suggest buying them during the sales. I do have Age of Empires 2 and all of the expansions for it, which is HD Edition, Forgotten Empires, African Kingdoms, and then The Rise of Raja, or the latest one that came out maybe a month or two ago. Now each civilization does have their own bonuses. For instance, each one has their own unique unit or units. For instance, the Ethiopians have the Shotel Warriors, which they're supposed to be a cheap units that is created very fast. The Spanish, kind of lagging here. The Spanish have conquistadors, which I don't see any. I'll show you some later. The Aztecs have Jaguar Warriors. And like each one has their own unique units and techs and different kinds of things like that. And if you notice, we just got all 5 relics, meaning we have 400 years to win, which if you see up in this top right corner, it says relics 390 years left, and you can see how quickly it's counting down. But I actually have 4 relics. Yellow had one of the relics, and then my teammate Blue, he pretty much just wiped Yellow out and took that relic. So now he has a relic in his base here. In the meantime, Red's still kind of attacking me a little bit here, and then I will shortly here kind of just start steamrolling through Red. But yeah, so each one has their own unique unit and technologies and bonuses. Like the Ethiopians, here I'll open this up, is an archer civilization. They have archers fire 15% faster. You receive a bonus 100 gold and 100 of food once you advance to the next age, and then the pikeman and halberdier upgrades are free. Then you have 2 unique techs. Each civilization has 2. Mine is Royal Heirs, which is Shotel Warriors, are created nearly instantly, and then Torsen engines makes siege workshop units have a blast radius increased. And then each civilization also has a team bonus, and my team bonus is towers and outposts have 3 line of sight, plus 3 line of sight, meaning they can see farther. Like if I turn their fog of war on, this is my line of sight. Usually it's probably about to here, so I can see a lot farther. It does help, not so much in a game like this, but some other games it does help. It does help. So then there's some different units here. If you noticed, I got the Shotel Warriors, which are elite now. I upgraded them. I got the Halberdiers. Got some Arbalists, which are some archer, which are basically the Imperial Age archers. Got some monks here, getting some trebuchets, or like I like to call them, tree buckets. Monks, they're the one, they can heal units, they can convert units to on your side, they pick up the relics, and stuff like that they can do. Generally, here's our trade carts go. Now that he got that, he's got some trade carts. And then it's really hard doing trading when you have an ally, because they like to build crazy. Like you'll see later in the game here, this becomes an absolute clusterfuck with trade carts and buildings, because he builds all kinds of them, and all kinds of trade carts are being built and everything, and he doesn't really, it's not really programmed in the AI in the computer to do that. And here I go attacking him now. In this game, you have to be a good multitasker. You have to be able to be like, okay, I need to battle these people. I need to keep my farms replenishing back there so I can keep getting resources. I need to make sure I'm building resources. I need to make sure I'm pressing forward. All kinds of things. And you could have farms in your mill. You can set up a queue, so if a farm expires, you don't have to come back here, click and rebuild one. You could have a queue, and you can have like 60 of them queued up or something like that. Cost some resources, but that's that. Here's my tree buckets, launching some fireballs. Destroy the town center. Yellow's already defeated. Light blue just resigned. Between orange and blue attacking light blue, light blue was kind of just annihilated pretty easily. And he's like, yeah, I give up, I resign. Most of the time the AIs do resign. You don't actually get a chance to defeat them, unless they're allied with a human player. If they're allied with a human player, their resign chance goes way down. Also, the earlier in the game that you attack them, their resign chance goes way down. Because Red, I believe, did make it to the Imperial Age, he's not going to resign very, very easily. I have to pretty much destroy most everything, and then he's like, okay, there's no hope for me anymore. I'll resign. I do play some online games. I know people are going to ask, why don't you play online games? I'm not all that good compared to some online people. Plus, I like just playing against computers because I can play it at my own pace. Online games lag, and I don't like when games that I play lag. So I generally just play against computers. I do occasionally play with my brother, so he's better than me, I think, in some ways, and in other ways I'm better than him. But so if I do end up playing some games with him, he's in Finland right now, but if he does play some games with me, if we could play some games, I'll get them recorded and might post them online onto YouTube. But yeah, I pretty much just kind of steamrolled through red here, and now I'm about to steamroll through green. I bring my trebuchets up here forward to destroy his castle. That's the Mongols' castle. And you can see how many trade carts get built just by looking right here between red and green's trade carts. Now, the farther away you have the markets, the more gold they get per trade cart. Like we get, if it will even tell me, I don't know. If I could find one of mine. We get 11 gold when it's from here to here per trip. There and back is 11 gold. They probably get like 1, maybe 2 gold, if that. I bring my Arbulist forward. And yeah, and we're doing pretty good. We still have the relics, so we got 200 years remaining, so we're about halfway. But at this point, I'm thinking, I could probably just stop it, and all you have to do to stop it is just knock one out, like click here, and it knocks one out. It ungarrisons one here, and I could put it back in to restart it, because relics also generate gold. So each relic that you have generates like 1 gold every 2 seconds or something like that. I'm not actually certain on these numbers. Um, it just seems like they're that fast. I don't know if they actually are. Um, but yeah. So having the relic in there does help me get a good amount of gold in. But meanwhile, while I'm attacking green here, not aware of what my ally is doing at all. So if you look back over here, because I have the Fog of War off, because I can have that off during a recorded game. During a normal game, I can't really see any of this stuff. I can only see this here. So while he's attacking, he's just getting annihilated back here. I mean, I'm pretty much annihilating green. Um, Green tried to backdoor here. That's the one thing about Black Forest. You can like, I'm attacking him here, so he sends some troops back here to try to stop my unit production or ambush me or something like that. And that happens all the time in online games more. It probably kind of just happened on accident on here, but yeah. But yeah, I didn't realize this was happening too much. Actually, I was just kind of focused on my own battles here until that happened. Because control of the relics was lost, so our countdown is gone now, and it's not really a bad thing, but that just means that my ally is getting annihilated because his relic was pretty much in the middle of his base. So there's the relic. Here's all of his troops. Here's his starting town center getting just demolished by these siege rams and paladins, which are like the best horse units in the game, especially as the Spanish. He gets cavalry bonuses, I think. I could be wrong. Spanish is like one of the most powerful civilizations in the game, in my own opinion. So I get some units. Got some there. I think I set my Arbalest back too. Got some units that I'm sending back here to try to help slow the destruction of my ally here if I can, because he's calling for help. The enemy is my town. I'm building a castle up here so I can try to build some new units here, and this is more of what the cluster of trade carts looks like. And this gets even worse after we clear out orange here. And meanwhile, while that's still going on, I finish off green. He resigns. So now it's just blue and I versus orange and gray, which we sort of have a score lead. Gray is pretty well weak, and I didn't actually realize that until I watched this video, or this recording. And the main reason that I went back and to help him was because I didn't want to have to fight my way through gray to get to orange, because I knew orange was down here, and I knew I had to go through gray to get to orange, and I thought, seeing how strong orange is, I figured gray was probably just as strong. But gray's score is about half, is about the same amount high, just as much as blue's is right now, meaning gray had nothing. So I probably could have went straight through, just steamrolled through gray instead of attacking orange, where orange would have just been caught off guard by being attacked and would have pulled some of his troops back, or he wouldn't have been getting reinforcements, so we would have been able to slowly pick him off and destroy him. But this is when this game gets really interesting. I send some resources to my blue to help him rebuild. He builds a monastery, he gets some buildings back up, he gets some good, and I start annihilating some more of orange's troops, and he starts bringing some back. They're pretty smart. I'm playing on hardest, mind you. I send some 2,500 more wood, because I have 10,000 wood, so 2,500 is not really that big of a deal. Yeah, so I'm pressing forward here, and I'm like, okay, I got him on the run now. I got some troops here. Keep going forward. Meanwhile, I start bringing these back. Blue gets that 5th relic in there, which I was actually on my way to do, but I ran out of population, and he was right there and able to do it pretty quickly. So I'm bringing my troops, the rest of my army here. I'm bringing it back down here because I'm like, I'll just wipe out orange now, because I just killed basically orange's whole army, I thought. So I got some units here, and I kind of just keep them here for the time being, waiting for the rest of my army to show up, which is probably where I made the mistake. I should have just kept the pressure on. So if you do end up playing this game, you'll want to keep the pressure on the enemies. If you let them rebuild a little bit, they will get a lot of troops built up. As you can see here, he's already got a lot of troops built back up. He's got a monk. I think I just killed the monk. Here's the conquistadors that I was talking about earlier. They are probably the most powerful unit in the game. They have an attack bonus versus infantry. They're mounted, and they're ranged. They're very inaccurate, and they're also really expensive. But if you have gold as the Spanish, you're pretty much unstoppable, which is the problem facing Orange here. He has gold. He has a lot of gold. We could just look at his civilization here. He has no resources, but that's because playing as the AI can practically, as soon as he gets enough resources to build a unit, it builds instantly. Like, nothing, no hesitation or anything about it. He's constantly putting troops out, constantly getting resources, where as a human player, we can't do that. So he actually ends up killing most of my army that I had down here, but then my reinforcements came pretty much just in time, because I brought some villagers down here to make a more forward base. Let's go back to myself here. So I got some archers here, archery range. Well, I can't talk today. Archery ranges built here, and I got a castle built up here, building some Chotel warriors. Getting a few barracks here. Gonna make some halberdiers. Just pop in 15 halberdiers there instantly. In my queue, I start pushing him back. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm pushing him back some more. Meanwhile, Blue's rebuilding. We're still counting down on the relic timer. And then I noticed that Gray all of a sudden has an army of skirmishers and rams over here. So I'm like, crap. That's another problem. An AI, he could just instantly split up his troops building and go to both sides. I have to actually physically stop. I'm pretty much at the max pop limit here. I've limited the population to 250. Because you could change the population limit total there, which is 250. Even building more houses, that doesn't increase it because I have it hard set before the game start, population limit at 250, which usually I do 500, but I just did 250 for this game because I didn't want to make it basically impossible. Something that I did do that was probably what was bad is I didn't realize we were actually playing against a Spanish enemy. So if you play against a Spanish person or Korean, and there's a few other civilizations, you want to kill them first. Because letting them sit back here and boom like Orange did, they pretty much become unstoppable. The Ethiopians, I found out, are more of a trash unit, fast building civilization. You can't really boom as them too well. But now I got the pressure on him. Then Gray sends his units in here. I got the pressure on him. I already destroyed one castle. About to destroy a second one. Destroying some buildings. See the market there? You always want to destroy pretty much every market that you can, because that's pretty much end game how anybody gets gold. So I destroy the market there. Try to help limit the amount of gold that both Gray and Gold can get. But Gray, and this is the problem. I'm facing 2-on-1 here. With a limit, he pays me some gold, which is nice. I asked for gold, but then he only gives me 100, and it's like, really, dude? Because I'm out of gold. I'm at my population limit because I have a giant army up here that I built to conquer Gray's army, which is probably what hurt me because I couldn't build enough troops down here to where I could kill Gray and Orange. But I got the pressure on it, destroyed the town center. And then I'm just like, well, I gotta back off here. So I take my trebuchets back. I'm like, maybe not. And then Gray's skirmishers that he had way over here finally show up. But man, it's just kind of crazy going on here. Whew, need a breath. Okay, so I built another castle in here. I'm like, I'll build a castle, good defensive, good point here to build some stuff. Got the castle up. I'm going to build a couple archery ranges here. I get some Shotel warriors. I sell some. I start selling some wood off in my market to get some gold to where I could pop these things out, because these things, like, this is actual speed. This is how fast these things get built. They are built ridiculously quickly, but I have no gold. I can't keep up the production of that. And then found out afterwards, these guys, I'm not even going to try to pronounce their name, Karamabit warriors, are pretty strong against infantry. And that's pretty much my units that I have here. And they have 6 pierce armor here and 4 melee armor. But they have like an attack bonus or something versus infantry, I guess, or something, because it's like my people should wipe them out, but mine don't, because I have 22 attack, and I can't click on one. He has 12 attack. I have 3 melee armor and 5 pierce armor, and somehow I lose, though, losing a one-on-one battle. So I'm thinking they have a attack bonus versus infantry. But the amount of rams here and the amount of skirmishers, and he has bombard cannons, I'm like, I'm just kind of lost here. So I put my rally points back here to try to build up a cluster of units. Meanwhile, Blue's doing pretty good here, and then this is truly the clusterfuck that I talked about earlier, because with my castle here, and then he built like all kinds of mills and houses in here. Yeah, a few can get through. Not too many. I think I just ended up deleting them, most of mine earlier, actually. But then Orange has me pretty well pushed back right now, which is not the best thing. But I got some Blues here to help me, though. So he's here to help me. If he really could bring all of the rest of the troops that he has back here forward instead of just letting them sit there, that'd be a lot nicer, but he doesn't. And then I tried to mine some gold and some stone here, but Gory just kind of sent some troops there and killed me, and I was like, whatever. So yeah, now I got him on the pushback because I could build up some units here. And this is really pretty much the time that I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to have to win by relics or wonder, because there's no way I'm going to be able to kill him, because I can't take on both of them, because Blue's, he has some troops. Now, Blue, as the Aztecs, has probably some of the strongest infantry in the game, and he doesn't build a single one of them. He builds archers and rams, which rams are good, and catapults. He also builds monks because he has some monks bonuses. But he doesn't build infantry. Like, his one unique tech gives them like 5 damage or 4 damage or something like that, which is like a ridiculous amount of damage. But he has some archers here, which actually does help kill some of these paladins and everything else. And we're down to under 60 years now, so I'm just like, okay, I just gotta hold off a little bit longer here. Somehow I get some troops back into here. I don't really know how. I think they just kind of ran in there chasing after stuff. If I had some like cavalry or something, though, which I didn't even build because I didn't really get good cavalry in this game. The Ethiopians don't really have very good cavalry. They just have like mediocre cavalry. But if I would have had some cavalry, I probably would have been able to do better, because cavalry is like the counter to these guys and to the skirmishers, which is pretty much what killed me. Like, his cavalry don't do any damage because I got halberdiers, which just massacre cavalry because they're like they're pikemen basically, only more advanced. But yeah, we're down to like 27 years here, 26. I built some skirmishers here because I thought Gray might have been attacking, but he really wasn't. So I just got some skirmishers there. For some reason, Blue's sending. He has a lumber camp there. This is them. But Blue has a pretty good army here now. So probably I didn't have very much. This is my army at this point in time. But I'm trying to build more. And I have to keep my rally point for my halberdiers back here, because if I have them down here, they get stuck in between the barracks and the lumber and the wood. But then he starts pushing back, and I'm just like, okay, this is pretty much over. And there we go. Finished replaying the game because we won. They were both defeated, and Gray pretty much had a boom there after I destroyed Green because he was squished because Green had stuff in here, and this is Gray's starting town center when Green had stuff here and Gray was here. You know, Gray didn't really have anything. Didn't realize that then. Should've. Didn't. It's probably the reason why this lasted so long. But yeah, there we go. Victory. Blue and I won because of relics. I'll take a victory. That's pretty much it. And the only reason I showed you is not because I won by outplaying them. It's because it was just a look at the amount of dead bodies right there. This was like the best choke point I've actually ever seen on a Black Forest. It was pretty amazing. It hurt both of us because I had to try to get through there and he had to try to get through there when he was coming this way. So it was pretty much just a stalemate. They're at the end though. Their first score here down here on the bottom right corner. Here is their actual score, their individual score, and then their team score. Their team score was higher than our team score because Blue still didn't really ever bounce back from when he was destroyed because he had all kinds of buildings here, and he had buildings all throughout here too, and then he was kind of just destroyed into here. Like this was his last town center up. If he would have lost that, he probably would have resigned. So I pretty much saved the day right in time. But Orange, he had a lot, and like this is the amount of trade carts they had coming. If I could have got in here and destroyed these two markets, Orange would have been done. Would have been done. He's the Spanish. Yep, that was that. Let's look at the achievements here. No, don't save. Quick save. Here we can look at the achievements. So I had the total score the highest. That's what the star means. The crown means we're the team that won. So military score, I won. Economy score, for some reason, I had the worst of the four people that were left, which is me, Blue, Gray, and Gold here. Yep, Gray and Gold beat me, and then Blue beat me, and then technology. I really don't understand this one. I was in third. Orange and Gray beat me, but I don't know why. I'll explain later. Society, Gray beat me, which I can understand why. So military, I had the most units killed. I also had the most units lost, so my K to D was terrible. But so was Orange. Orange was actually worse than mine, because he had 300 less kills, but only 50 less losses. My KD was better than his. Blue's KD was terrible. So I had the best kill to death ratio, but I also lost a lot more. I also killed 2 people and almost killed Orange, so it was pretty good. That's why I had the most buildings raised. I had the least number of buildings lost. He had the most number of buildings lost, and then he had the most units converted and the largest army. I ran out of population. I had a lot of villagers. Economy, I didn't do too good. Orange, Gray. Orange won food. I won wood. He got most stone, most gold, and he got the most trade profit. Which, as the Spanish, they get his team bonus is like a bonus to trade, so that helped him. And then Blue kind of screwed us over with the trade, but I had the most tribute sent, and he had the most tribute received. That's basically why I was still in the running for economy. And then this is the technology. For whatever reason, they beat me. When I beat them to the feudal, to the imperial, had the most research, and had the highest research percentage. He only beat me to the castle age. And somehow he beat me in technology. Yeah, he was pretty close up there, but I had 6 more researches than him. I think it has to do something with the resources that are spent on the research. Not just the the total number, but it's like the research cost is my only thinking. Society, he had 7 castles, 3 castles, 6 castles, 4 relics, 12,000 gold, which did help because the Aztecs actually have a higher rate of gold per relic. He had the most villagers, 155 villagers, and the 5 of us survived. Even though he actually didn't survive, I don't know why it says he survived. I think it's because he still had buildings on the map. Timeline just kind of shows my score over time. The lighter color is economy score. The darker color is military score. And it's basically like I contained like what 5% of the total score. Like everybody's score added up, I was like that's much, and that's how they figure it out. And then they divide it by 2 or whatever. So yeah, yellow and light blue were knocked out pretty quickly. Red and green were knocked out pretty quickly, and then we all kind of just chugged on till the end. But that was that. I think I'm about done with this one now, so this is Jacob here, signing off. See you guys next time.